What's up everyone, Speedy here. In this 1v1 video, we're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review. So let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are in game number 1. That is how you do a kickoff on 0 boost. Dude, that was so well done. Kind of annoying he gets that boost and I just played that perfectly. That was really well done. Controls that. Good early child. I'm gonna wait for this bounce. Again, that was really well played. Wow. Okay. Great start. Really good early child there, just forcing the play and then getting a good bounce. Kind of didn't really get the half. At least the setup I wanted. I didn't do that properly. I did do that well. Wow. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I flubbed up the beginning of that entire sequence with the kickoff. It was not ideal, but all good though. I'm gonna get scored on here. Yeah, that was so poor. It's just really bad. I just honestly positionally committed myself really badly. It's in my corner, so it's not going to be really dangerous. Takes my time. He's going to make a cut here. He does not. Okay, that was insane, dude. Dude, I knew he wasn't going to go, so I played that perfectly patient. I just, like, waited for him to make some kind of play and then placed a 50. Oh, that was actually so perfect. Can't really go for that. Good patience there, just waiting for the jump. Once I heard the jump. Could have actually shot that, but that's okay. Can't really go. Oh, that's a good boost grab. That was really bad of me. I'm gonna go for the wall here. Pretty dangerous play. Good challenge there. Just tries to force him. He's gonna get a control touch here. Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't really do much there after that point there. Like once I did an okay job with that 50, but it was very difficult because once I committed my position with the flip, it becomes like really dangerous here. Good pressure here. Just try not to use too much boost until I can be in a position where it makes sense. Good challenge here. Quick read to the opponent. I'm playing this really well. Dude, that was such a perfect flick to force him awkward. And get the own goal there too. I committed myself pretty badly here. Have to be careful about this play. It's gonna boom touch, especially control touches. And that is why you try to play based off the threat, because at that point, like, you look like you're gonna be going for the boost there, and then you immediately just cut and then go for the goal. Like, it's a very straightforward play, but that was actually probably one of the most dominant games I think I've ever played. That was so well played. Here we are in game number 2. I think that's okay. That's just in. Opponent kind of like slightly missed up the kickoff somehow. They were just like slightly out of position, and I just tried to play that to the side. Nice. Good kickoff win. Played a couple of rough games in this session here so far. First game you're going to see is a pretty good one. Second and third one were really bad. Just really did not mentally play well at all. And not a lot to learn from, so hopefully this will be a better second game. Not sure where the opponent's going to go here. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted that bump to actually like hit him into the ball. That would have been doubly hilarious, and unfortunately it does not work, but all good. Just overcommitted there. It's honestly tried to play that fast and fancy and got going on for it. Not too fast. Can't really go here. Good control. Bad control. Need to take my time. If I'm going to go for a ground air dribble, it's a fair decision to make, but it's mechanical error if I'm not going to take the time I need to get under the ball properly. Better. Need to be a lot more ahead than this though. 2 goals is not enough. Come on. Or I'm gonna slot it top bins off the kickoff. That is something. Okay. That's a nice kickoff dunk. Go for a fake here. Put that across so that way I get contact. Dude, what a flick! Holy smokes! Dude, that is insane power. Wow. All right. Really obvious challenge from the opponent. Just try to keep putting that goal line pressure. Yeah, I played that so badly. Super badly played. I thought it's going to do a better job. And honestly, super early challenge in the air is just a terrible decision. I went for the bump there, honestly. There was nothing he could really do. The ball was just free bouncing in that, though. So, I mean, it is what it is. Damn. It's a rough one. It's probably in my net. That's probably is. There you go. Yeah. It's honestly should have been a goal in the first place. I just completely from the very beginning of that kickoff, just completely fucked it up. No front flip here. Too passive there, honestly. It would have been okay if I was like a little bit further up ahead, but I just like took too much time on the defensive position there. Honestly, could have put that a lot better. Let that roll in slow. Lots of time in the game, so I want to try to kill a few seconds off the clock. Especially if they're going to commit to that. Like, that's why, like, if you see your opponent going for that play, just respect that they're going to go for that. Just don't chow that, especially in that position. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in a bad spot, making it easier to get scored on. Honestly, that's the best thing I could do there. Soft touch. Until they troll the touch, dude. Oh, dude, I just wasn't going to play it the way he wanted. Like, he wanted me to boom the ball into him. I wasn't going to do that. Imagine. Oops. Just did not troll the position away. I respect that they want to keep trying though. Totally respect it. I would probably do the same thing in the right mental and really not like, giving up. Totally respect it. GG. Okay, so here we are in the replay portion of the video. And this was a really interesting game for a lot of reasons. This was really fun. After having some difficult games, where of course after game 2 you saw I did win that game. In between that and game 1, I had some very frustrating losses where a lot of my goals that I let myself essentially get scored on were just from primarily decision-making errors where I was just pushing way too far up into a play and just consistently made that mistake. I recognized I was like, okay, you know what? Stop that game, reset the mental a little bit, and give myself a little bit of a breather to cool down. So after this second game too, this is the game immediately following that. And this felt really good. This felt like a really good game because I just kind of played loose, you know, not like sloppy per se, but played loose in the sense of like just played calmer, tried to force opponent pressure plays, really just making the opponent awkward where I could. And also just, as you can see here, just recognizing like this is a really good thing to do. Something you should try to have a habit of is if you can't confirm that you're going to have a very high percentage play, the question you ask yourself is, what is high percentage in this moment? What you want to do is think about maintaining possession into a safe space. You have two very safe spaces in your field. You have your back right and your back left. I chose back left because I wanted to play across away from the space of where the opponent and I were at. The second reason, it also puts me in a space where I can now visually see the opponent from distance, from a very large distance, and have plenty of time to react whether or not they're going to actually try to make a potential play. So in this case, I take my time. The opponent decides to play close, recognizing, like for example, he was thinking maybe if I just lost control of the ball there, then you could potentially get a touch, or you could fake here and try to see if I would try to bite. What you want to do is just be patient here. As you can see, just taking my time, really get a good setup here. And this play right here, this has to be one of the most patient offensive plays I think I've ever played. In all of the time I played, this is a rare moment where I almost want to celebrate the moment and just say like that was a good play. And I don't say that about my own play a lot, but the level of patience here to just not go and to not boom it into the opponent, but just simply wait and then let that moment of separation, try to force the separation. So you see like right here. So pay attention to when I separate from the ball. There's a reason why I had that. So here I get that touch and I wait and then I jump. That's the moment when the opponent's typically going to go for the challenge. They're going to cut and try to make some kind of challenge play. What you want to do then is single jump 50. So you want to try to play above them. So if they're going to be on the ground, you play above them. Don't try to double jump if you can, because typically double jumping can typically be very, it can be very committal. In this case, single jumping also puts me in a good spot because then I can go for a bump here, but it was really awkward and just didn't have momentum, forward momentum to the play in time to make the save. So this is a really good play. I like this kind of play. This is a play you should do more often as well. Learn to be patient with your offense at times. There's a time and place for everything. This is good here. Also just trying to be ready for a potential save here, just in case. Opponent, I actually could have shot that. This is a good bump here. I technically could have scored this, but it's a really hard angle. Once I recognized I wasn't going to score, my goal was to try to steal boost when I knew it was high percentage, because that was a safe play for me to go. Didn't get the ground double I wanted. I kind of just put myself a little too far ahead of there. Just a small mechanical mistake there. I actually didn't think the opponent was going to be able to get that touch. I actually thought I beat them here, so just ahead of this. So in this moment here, I didn't realize he cut as well as he did, and he just gets a piece of it. So this is a good job by the opponent. He does a good job. With that control touch, puts in a safe space here. I don't like this separation though. Is a better opponent would have done a better job of challenging this. And here, it's just playing patient and kind of just. I knew I was going to get beat by the opponent, so I just didn't go. I did honestly like a pretty decent job of just not going, because you could see me like turn back, and that's when I noticed that the opponent was going, and just kind of respect what the opponent's going to do. if the opponent hits it, then you know they're going to likely hit it to their back, or to essentially your top right. So that's a really key thing. I like this fake here. This is a good corner fake. It's a typically, I feel like it can be a safer, more well-rounded version of a half flip fake in the corner kickoffs. The reason is that a better, like a really good opponent will see the separation from me and the ball on the immediate kickoff from the name tag going away from the ball, and they will know immediately and just shoot towards the net. Or if they're smart with it, they take time and then try to make me awkward here. I like that cut. I like this cut. It forces the play to have just that change in tempo, because immediately I'm going left, and then cut, and the opponent now has to adjust to that. I could have gone left for the wall. That would have been a fully predictable play. I could definitely make this cut a little bit less predictable. It's hard to make that perfect. I don't like that touch there. I understand the idea for the double touch jump there, sorry, and then going for the bump. Totally fine. But it's just I pushed myself a little bit too far ahead of it, and so I just want to be a little bit closer to it, and that would be fine. I like that flick, and I also like the inverse bump. It's a really small thing, but getting the bump there is really smart, because what it does is it just basically slows the opponent down in front of them just enough to where they're not going to be able to really get like mental space to now be like, okay, what direction is the ball? Okay, it's to my net. Okay, how do I save it? You know, they don't get that space when you bump them like that, so that's good. Not a great kickoff. Could have honestly done that kickoff better. Opponent honestly should have gone for that boost, and this I should have scored. Didn't really take a lot of time. It was physically open, but not mentally open. A little annoyed by myself because of that. Here, just didn't get the play I wanted. And then here, just immediately recognized to turn back. Because if the opponent shoots that, it's super dangerous. Here, trying to go for the bump. The opponent does a good job of waiting. And then I like this fake here because it forces the opponent to at least make a challenging touch, which means they're going to try to pop it. I don't like that touch. Honestly, that touch right there is honestly just really dangerous because it loses me control. So if you're going to try to jump, the thing is you have to recognize is if you're not hitting that left bumper, the one I just hit here, if you're not hitting that when you're holding, or at least holding it when you're landing, you're going to spin a bit and you're going to land awkward. You see how like I just landed kind of like awkward, and it kind of like jittered me or almost stuttered my car's movement? That's what happens in that. So be cautious of that. I like this for a touch. Specifically, I wanted to make sure that when I brought it across that I stayed with the ball. So you see how I'm in line with the ball. So defensively, what's happening is that I'm in a position where I can cover. So if the opponent decides to, like if I try to clear it, the opponent is reading for that. So they're trying to see if I hit it to them, they're gonna dunk. Not a great dunk, but seems to be, that seems to be kind of like how they're going about it. I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of an insane reset because I wasn't necessarily trying to go for it. I've gone for intentional resets, that's no problem, but like this was not necessarily intentional. I was just a bit awkward there, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to go for like a really high and sharp angle, like air dribble attempt to at least, you know, get a control touch and then maybe follow it up. I'm not really sure how to even make this play, if I'm being honest. Maybe you guys might know. This was just a kind of crazy play that I don't know what I could have done there, but I did decently there, being patient until I made the shot there. That was not really a great shot. Could have actually, I don't mind that I actually, when I used the reset, that I kind of just waited a moment. What I could say would work here is maybe a slight flick to the left, even like a backflip flick or a 90 flick, just to bring it across, really. Because there's not a lot else you could do at this point. The angle is fairly sharp and the opponent's in a position where it is savable for them. So it's going to be hard for me to really cover. I do like this play here. And then this slight jump, I mean, likely I was going to get killed here either way. Unfortunately, that doesn't go in the net. This play's okay, not great control. The opponent gets a challenging opportunity. And because of that, even though I do get a goal here, this play was really ideally, I could have been better about getting that much separation. The reason is like right here. So when you get the separation from this touch, I need to recognize to just take time. I have full boost. I don't have to hit it to this open space here. A safe play would honestly just come around the ball and let it roll forward. So let it roll forward. The opponent's going to be low boost, and they're going to have to play the challenge in order to kind of cover for the threat. That's where you can scoop it and cut left. You don't have to flick it left per se, but a cut left when the opponent's going to potentially challenge is a lot more dangerous than what it did there. This amount of separation here, so think 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. So about 5 seconds of separation between me and the ball in that play. That's a lot. 5 seconds is a significant amount of time, especially when it's against like really good players. 5 seconds is a fucking eternity. So be really, really careful about doing these kinds of plays. Try to think more of the optimal high percentage play, and you'll find, even if it's not as flashy at times, it will get you more goals because it will likely put you in better positions, which means the goals are easier to work with. That's not a great touch. It gives the possession away. The opponent, like, I do a good job of kind of keeping the opponent narrow. This is really poor here. Didn't have to go for that flip there. What I was trying to do was essentially I was trying to get a wave dash there. Made that more awkward than I needed to. It was just not a great play. A better thing to do here, because what I wanted to do was go for like a wave dash shot. That was like my actual intent there. That's exactly what I wanted. I remember in this moment. The problem is like if I want to go for these kinds of plays, I have to consider like the boost amount. I'm 0 boost. So in this play, just staying close to the ball and bringing it right would be a bit safer, even if the opponent is able to challenge it. He's also 0 boost, mind you. Remember, he's also 0 boost. By bumping him into this play, remember, I'm bumping him into momentum where he has recoverable momentum. It's not intended for that to be like, you know, what the result was, but that's kind of what happened. Don't mind the recoveries, that's good. This play I liked. Just a quick recovery and recognizing the opening for the shot. This whole play is really, that comes from just being consistent with my recovery, to just not give up momentum. This is a good touchdown because I'm in a position where I'm able to recover faster. I use my power slide to spin myself. This is really good. This is a great use of power slide. You want to, essentially what you're doing is you're holding power slide while turning, and that allows you to kind of flat spin. So that flat spin, what it's doing is it allows me to get my car into an angle that I can then shoot with. So it's a small mechanical thing, but this is a good mechanical moment. Could have played that recovery better and also that position better. I don't mind this, but the problem is like in this position, I'm committing my position from the flip, and I'm in a spot where now I'm a bit awkward, and mentally I don't give myself the space, and the opponent is challenging for the bump. So if you're watching the opponent's perspective, watch from their perspective on why that play went the way it did. So he mistouches the flip there, but he sees the flip opportunity early, and that's what's dangerous about this play. So it's something you want to be careful about. It's a good doink. It's a good doink. It ends the game, but it's a good doink. Really just the setup for the play is just playing for the 50 and just going for a pop touch here. That's what makes that work. Overall, really good game. In the games today, even the ones that were off recording that I lost, outside of overcommitting a lot, I definitely was making good adjustments and like making good mechanical plays. I felt good. The new settings and also the Fennec change, it's definitely been nice. Setting change. So for those that are not familiar, I switched from 1.3 cents to my new setting, which is for both sensitivities, 2.25. So as you can see here, steering and aerial are 2.25. Those are Magic Bear settings. So I decided to change to those, and I'm very, very happy that I did that. They feel really great, and I'm really quite enjoying that. Some people, it's a bit too sensitive. For me, I actually like that sensitivity. I can work with that and make adjustments in the air and build better proficiency with that over time. Even though it's very new to me, I like it. So If you enjoyed watching this video and would like me to review your games, feel free to let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And if you enjoyed watching this video, I'd like to ask you to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Speedy Man out.